The still picture is the thing that can sum up a new story. I know there's the old cliche, a picture tells 1,000 words, but I think it can freeze a moment of time. I think it's really nice that perhaps these pictures will see the light of day again. They're obviously great pictures when they were shot. Some were published, some weren't published.
We have thousands and thousands of images in the archive. We have some great photographers that have done a lot of work for The Guardian, including Tom Jenkins and Christopher Thormont. So we hope that you'll take a look at the range and find something that you like.
I first started working properly for The Guardian in about 1990. And there have been times in those 20-odd years where I've sort of done a bit of fashion, a bit of news, a bit of portraiture. But my first love is really sport, and I've always come back to sport, and that's what I love to do.
Still photography is really accessible now with smartphones and things like that. But I think the old adage applies that it's the person behind the camera really that makes the picture, creates the picture, captures the image. The camera is just a tool.
Tom Daley, during the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, he was 13. The time that he's actually spinning and looking up above me is a fraction of a second. I wanted to get this really impactful, different sort of shot for the day he became Britain's youngest Olympian.
So this is one of Dennis Thorpe's most iconic images of a steam train going over Ribble Head Viaduct in Yorkshire, and it's always been a picture that people have loved and admired. And Dennis, he'd always have his camera around his neck, even if he was just having a cup of tea afterwards. He'd be looking out for another great image. He'd never stop looking for pictures.
There's a cycling picture in the collection that I took in 2011 in Manchester. I managed to sort of work out a sort of technique where I had a combination of using the flash and also very slow shutter speed. I managed to work out a way that the flash would still the cyclist, but the shutter would stay open, and the rest of the team would create this sort of wave of colour going through the cyclist. And it's a sort of picture that you can only create digitally. I think when I was shooting film, I'd have never shot a picture like that.
This is kind of a good example of sort of Guardian photography works, sort of shooting a very straight picture of St Paul's. He used the zoom lens to give the image a slight twist. And it's the kind of thing that we might well use in the paper. St Paul's is almost a kind of a cliche image, but this gets away from that cliche look just by doing something slightly different.
A lot of it's about being in the right place at the right time. There's a picture of Usain Bolt that I took at the Beijing Olympics in 2008 when he won the 200 metres. In a new world record time and completed the 100 metre, 200 metre double. He crossed over the line and sort of ran straight towards me with his arms wide out as though he was about to take off. And it was certainly one of my favourite moments of that Olympics. Fortunately for me, I was in the right spot to get it.
I think still photography is still really important to The Guardian. I think some of them are real icons. They were shot possibly in a hurry by news photographers, but in some ways they're kind of works of art themselves. I'm very pleased that people, will want them to perhaps cherish them and have them around their homes. It's great.